What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sinceres here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division Vendor Reset video. We're here for February 26, 2021's vendor reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the weapons vendor has a converted USC. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Hudson. Head over to the gear vendor here, and we got an operator mask with the talent Tenacious on there. And also here we got a prototype stamina mod with 258 stamina and 1% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Head over to the weapons vendor here, and we have an extended magazine with 117.50% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, and 2.50% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got a police MK17. We also here got a black market RPK 74E. Also here we got a Omega rifle suppressor with 18% headshot damage, 2% accuracy, and 4% crit hit damage. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor, and here we got a pecan if you like to run this weapon. We also here got a tactical UMP 45. Also here we got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive on there. Also here we got some Spec Ops Gloves with the talent Savaged on there. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4% ballistic shield damage. Next here we got a heavy magazine spring with 3% crit hit chance, 12% magazine size, and 10.70% rate of fire. Also here we got an SR7 suppressor with 17% crit hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 4.50% optimal range. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a surplus Svd Blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got Electronics Vest Blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got a vertical grip foliage green blueprint with a power level 34. We also here got an angle grip red blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to Kerman Station. Here the weapons vendor has a converted USC. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a police UMP 45. We also here got a Lova C. Also here we got a tactical SASG 12K. Also here we got a classic RPK 74. Next here we got a Spec Ops Mask with the talent Tenacious on there. Also here we got an operator pack with the talent Relentless. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 7.50% support station duration. Also here we got an extended magazine with 114.50% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, and 5.20% rate of fire. Also here we got an angle grip red with 13.50% stability, 5% optimal range, and 4% crit hit damage. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a Firearms Mask blueprint with a gear score of 256. We also got an Electronics Gloves blueprint with a gear score of 256. For our next gear items, head over to Dante's Run. Here the gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Rehabilitated on there. For our next gear items, head over to Wolf's Den. Here the weapons vendor has a C79 scope with 19% crit hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 2.50% crit hit chance. For our next items, head over to Autumn's Hope. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5% pulse duration. For our next gear items, head over to Madison's Stand. Here the gear vendor has a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive on there. For our next gear items, head over to the Ward. Here the gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Tenacious on there. For our next gear items, head over to the Grindhouse. Here the weapons vendor has a double barrel shotgun. For our next gear items, head over to the Firewall. Here the gear vendor has some Gunslinger Gloves with the talent Savaged on there. And also here we got a prototype stamina mod with 196 stamina and 3% damage to elites. For our next gear items, head over to the Crypt. Here the weapons vendor has a high velocity magazine with 7.50% crit hit chance, 11% magazine size, and 5.60% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street Checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a SRS-A1. We also here got a tactical pack with the talent Inventive. And also here we got a prototype electronics mod with 265 electronics and 4% signature ability resource gain. For our next gear items, head over to West 34th Street Checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has an enhanced AUG A3P. We also here got a prototype performance mod with 5.50% sticky bomb explosion radius. For our next gear items, head over to West 39th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a G36 enhanced. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% sticky bomb damage. For our next gear items, head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a double barrel shotgun. For our next gear items, head over to West 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a classic M1A. Also here we got a Spec Ops pack with the Talent Relentless. For our next gear items, head over to West 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a tactical mask with the Talent Rehabilitated on there. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% smart cover duration. For our next gear items, head over to East 64th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype performance mod with 7.50% turret duration. For our next gear items, head over to East 61st Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone weapon mod vendor has a heavy magazine spring with 3% crit hit chance, 4% crit hit damage, and 10.10% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone gear vendor has a Spec Ops Mask with the Talent Rehabilitated on there. For our next gear items, head over to East 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a tactical ACR. For our next gear items, head over to East 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a military M870. Next here we got some Spec Ops Gloves with the Talent Svd on there. And also here we got extended magazine with 120% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, and 5% reload speed. For our next gear items, head over to East 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a Spec Ops Mask with the Talent Tenacious on there. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4% Seeker Mine damage. For our next gear items, head over to East 40th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a classic M1A. For our next gear items, head over to East 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a prototype performance mod with 3.50% turret damage. And also here we got a heavy magazine spring with 4.50% reload speed, 2.50% crit hit chance, and 10.70% rate of fire. And also here we got a heavy magazine spring with 4.50% reload speed, 2.50% crit hit chance, and 10.70% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to the 5th Ave checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a prototype electronics mod with 262 electronics and 2.50% exotic damage resilience. And also here we got a small grip with 17% crit hit damage, 2.50% stability, and 4.50% reload speed. For our next gear items, head over to DZ2 safe room. Here the Dart Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the Talent Refreshed on there. Also here we got a Gunslinger Vest with the Talent Reckless. Next here we got a Spec Ops pack with the Talent Relentless. And also here we got some Gunslinger Gloves with the Talent Svd on there. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 safe room. Here the Dart Zone weapons vendor has a military MK46. For our next gear items, head over to DZ4 safe room. Here the Dart Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 263 firearms and 3,121 health. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 safe room. Here the Dart Zone weapon mod vendor has an extended magazine with 116% magazine size, 3% crit hit chance, and 5.10% rate of fire. Also here we got a Omega rifle suppressor with 18% headshot damage, 2.50% crit hit chance, and 4% crit hit damage. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 safe room. Here the Dart Zone gear vendor has this tactical mask with the Talent Rehabilitated on there. Also here we got a tactical pack with the Talent Relentless. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 safe room. Here the Dart Zone weapon mod vendor has Omega rifle suppressor with 18% headshot damage, 4.50% optimal range, and 2% accuracy. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for February 26th, 2021's vendor reset. Hope everybody tuned into it, found them something that they needed. Smash on that sub and like button, y'all appreciate that support. And I will see y'all with the next one, everybody. Take care, peace.